This is Barbara Elistad and John Taylor with the Mesquite Citizen Journal. And we're continuing our series of interviewing all of the candidates for the Mesquite City Council election this year in 2013. And now we're speaking with Yoli Bell. So Yoli, we'd like you to give us an introduction to yourself, how long you've been in Mesquite, some of the organizations that you've been involved with, and kind of let us know who you are.
Okay. My name's Yoli Bell. I've been a resident of Mesquite going on 20 years. I arrived here in 1994 when this town was maybe a population of 3,000.
You're about a native.
I am, pretty much, I am. When I first came here, I kind of thought, wow, I get to see this community grow almost from scratch, and that was a fascination for me. I really wanted to be a part of that. Mm-hmm. And my husband, who happens to be Alan Bell, was coming in as head of public works, and then eventually ended up as head of engineering and whatever else they gave him. Anyway, some of the organizations that I have belonged to have been, I think I started off with a charter member as the Virgin Valley Lions Club. I was one of the original members that helped start or found the Family Resource Center. Mm-hmm. I have been on the Rodeo and Race Commission.
I didn't know we had one of those.
We did. It didn't last very long, but we did. We had a Rodeo and Race Commission. I've been a member of the Economic Development Commission twice. Mm-hmm. I have served as director of the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
And at that time, I was adamant about making sure that I visited every business that I knew existed, and I think I did, the majority of them anyway. Eventually, I got cancer in 2000, and by 2001, I was up and running again, and I founded the Mesquite Cancer Help Society. Uh-huh. This is our 13th year. I'm really proud of the community because they have just been spectacular. They have supported us. They know that we're accountable. They know that we have integrity, and every penny that we raise stays in our community. Uh-huh. We take a lot of pride in being there for everybody that needs us, whether it's for information or for assistance. We do everything from helping with educating them about cancer and their options, and basically we give them the tools to take control of their illness.
Yeah. All right. John, you want to start with the first question?
Obviously, the city council doesn't have any control over Overton Power District. What we'd like to ask you is your thoughts on the mayor's quest to find a new power supplier, and how would you do that?
I'm a major advocate about, we should have what we use within our community. I'm big on research. I mean, that's kind of like my forte. I don't like looking bad in public, so I do my homework.
Okay.
I'm big about that. Really, at this point, I would basically say that if it's feasible and it's not going to be a burden on the taxpayer, that we should definitely consider it. I don't understand why OPD is not as accountable as they should be, because basically they're a public entity. Mm-hmm. So my thing would be that I would do my homework, do my research, and I don't believe in just partiality to any one company, business, or utility. So if it's practical and if it's feasible and it's not, the burden isn't going to lay on the taxpayer, I'm for it.
Okay. What are your thoughts about making the Gold Butte area a national conservation area with or without wilderness? And do you think that it would serve as an economic development engine, whether it's an NCA or not an NCA?
I feel that government in general, especially the federal government, already dictates a lot to the people. I am a strong believer in abiding by the law, the rules, statutes, whatever you want to call it. Alan and I went to the Gold Butte area 2-3 months ago. It was pretty. And I understand there's, 30-some thousand acres out there that require attention, but I'm also a big believer in if you're there and you've kind of been there from day one, you should be allowed to stay within the boundaries that you are. In this case, I think a big qualm has been the cattle. And I'm a farm girl. I mean, I come from the farm, and I think if you respect property, even though you're using it, that's what's very important. I believe in preservation. Alan and I have been, what do they call them, facilitators, taking care of ruins because we believe in preserving the past and taking care of it. I don't have extensive homework. I don't know that we are the gateway to Gold Butte. Based on what little I've seen, I kind of wondered what information is really being based on that. I mean, you still have to go a long ways in before you get to the areas that possibly may have petroglyphs or pictographs. But I would really get out there and look at it a lot closer. I mean, I don't want to just give my opinion.
Okay.
I really believe in trying to get the facts. Whether we are the gateway to Gold Butte or not is something that I think needs to be really examined closer.
Okay.
Kind of staying along that same theme, the Virgin River Habitat Conservation and Recovery Plan has been under consideration by the City Council for close to a year. What do you think the issue should be? Which way do you think that issue should be settled? And do you see it more as an economic development issue or a conservation issue?
I actually did some research for a political group regarding preservation of lands, I don't know, back in 2000 when I was actually dealing with my cancer and went to meetings in Caliente. My problem with preservation is that everything can be done overboard. I think the Virgin River has a lot of potential, but me personally, I think it has potential for being used as an area that could attract events. Okay.
Okay.
I go to places and I see what they've done. I mean, I tell Alan, I said, my God, how come these people are able to get things accomplished so easily, and yet they're along the Virgin River, and yet we can't? And a lot of it has to do with the preservationists. A lot of it has to do with the federal government. And I personally would love to see a river walk there, even if it's small. I told Alan one day, I said, wouldn't it be awesome if we could do something where events could be held and have paddle boat races? Of course, it's not deep enough by any means.
Yeah.
But I think a lot about that.
Okay.